Yu-Gi-Oh 101, as promised in my uploading schedule I did this Sunday. I was supposed to do two videos. One for the ban list uh, predictions coming September 1st this year, and another one for decks expected to be seen. But I think I'm gonna try to munch them, try to squinch everything in this one video. One, because I have not been paying that deep of detail to like individual cards to really pick out exactly what cards will be or like should get hit. So I can't really say, which ones, should get hit. But there's one card in particular that I feel should have something happen to it that should be, like banned. But I'm gonna talk about that when I get it. So this video is mainly going to be covering the decks that I expect to see or expected to be seen. Um, so like in the upcoming format. So sorry to disappoint some of you guys. I know some of you were waiting to see what my predictions for that were going to be. I haven't, as you know, I do Yu-Gi-Oh 101 Fan Day every Friday, and if I can't do it then I do it, Saturday. But yeah, it was some personal things I had to take care of, and yeah, that got pushed to the side. So I haven't really been paying attention to Yu-Gi-Oh that deeply to, really give an accurate, you know, uh, prediction on, what cards should get hit. But yeah, without further ado, let me talk about what the main meat of this video is going to be about. Is the decks expected to be seen after the format? So let's so for the one card that does come to mind that I feel should have something happen to it, for one, is Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. Here's why. They are introducing a new Blackluster Soldier, and based on the way Konami does things, or the or so like based on the way Konami has been known to do things, when they introduce a new version of a card, like a new version of that card, then what they do is that they ban that previous version of it. Like they did it with Crush Card Virus, with, saying also cards like Trade Toad, after they brought in Trade Toad, you know, sometime like way before that, saying like Substitute Toad ended up getting banned because it was too good. Then they banned, saying like um uh uh I can't think of that little card's name. Uh Fishboard Blaster. That was the name of it. When they banned Fishboard Blaster, what happened after that? All these different variations of it came out. You know what I mean? So Konami's known to do that. And I don't think they want well, two, Blackluster soldiers outside of the ritual monster on the field. Not in the game. Let me move this up so I can look directly at the camera so you guys can see me. But yeah, they are known to leave two copies of like the same card in the game, really like that. And plus, Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Twilight, which is the new Blackluster Soldier that they're bringing into the game, is like more of a quote-unquote fixed version of Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. And if they're fixing a card, then they're not going to leave that previous version in the, as a, saying, as a card that they would want other people playing. You know what I mean? So that would be a card that I feel that just might get banned. But then again, they pulled some stuff with the Inzectors and the Windups. I would say like 1 or 2 years ago, when when the Inzectors and Windups were literally the only two decks that you've seen running rampant in Yu-Gi-Oh, because of what they did. Inzectors, they had a little, oh, I could just use one Hornet and I can blow up everything on my opponent's side of the field, and I could just attack and just, wail at your life points until you're all gone. And all I needed was one hornet in a graveyard in order for that to happen. Um, and with the windups, they were even more ridiculous. They emptied out your opponent's hand in the first, turn, which was really unprecedented. They were beyond broken. Them motherfuckers was god level, and they like they just were beyond ridiculous. And yeah, and in that upcoming format that was coming up, Konami did not ban those cards as early as they should have. Because it's a business, and like they still wanted to make their money off those cards, and they wanted to leave them in the game for a little longer, so they didn't do anything to them. So, mind you, even though Blackluster Soldier has been in the game for a while, I don't know. They might try to pull something like that off with it, and they may not ban it as early, or like as early as they should ban it, but that remains to be seen. But that's my prediction, that Blackluster Soldier will be one of the many cards that gets hit. It came off the ban list for a while. They're introducing a new version of it, like a new counterpart that supposedly is a fixed version of it. So obviously there's something wrong with Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning. So they're gonna probably reban it. So that's my one card prediction as of right now. Who knows? Maybe in the near future I'll be doing another, some like ban list prediction video once I gain more knowledge of, all of the cards that are being used in today's Yu-Gi-Oh. But there are some decks that I know for a fact will still be getting used. And the reason why I say I know for a fact, because this is the way that the average Yu-Gi-Oh player thinks. Anything that's quick and known to be consistent, or there's like some net deck out for it, they're going to use that because it's been known to work, and they don't want to do the thinking themselves, so they just pretty much just use whatever's out there that they can, use quickly, and just build on with what's already been out there, and just run with that. You know what I mean? So based on that logic, I pretty much can understand, what's going to be played. And these are my deck list prediction, or like these are pretty much like my deck expectations for the upcoming format. First up, we have the Mermails. Now, there could be some cards in the Mermails that may get hit. I highly doubt it. Well, I doubt it. But, even if the Mermails get hit, they can mix in, something like with the Atlanteans. And the Atlanteans by themselves can't do anything, really. It's really when you mix in the Atlanteans with other water builds out there that they're able to do something. And more, in particularly the Mermails, because the Atlanteans need to be discarded from the hand in order to activate their effects by water monsters, and the Mermails, they can discard. Well, you need to discard water monsters from your hand, or like just monsters from your hand to the graveyard, or cards in particular, or in general, from your hand to the graveyard, like in order to activate their effects. So yeah, you just put two and two together, like those two, like really like a perfect match. So if anything happens to any of the Mermails, then the Atlanteans will just mix in with them, and they'll just make this, you know, this little marriage, and I'm pretty sure that an Atlantean Mermail build will work out. So like the Mermails are good for like the upcoming format. Next up are the vampires. They've introduced new zombie, vampires into the game, and now vampires are now an official archetype now, because they have like support cards that directly affect, them and all the things that they do. Plus, they're just good. They're just good. They basically what you're doing is that you're draining your opponent's deck little by little to the point where they're not going to have one particular card, like to use anymore. You know what I mean? Because like the way they work, or pretty much like the way that they're trying to push them to work, is that basically you're able to dump cards from your opponent's graveyard in order to use Vampire Empire in order to blow up cards on their side of the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically how they're working. You know, and with Vampire Grace, that's the top card in that. You know what I'm saying? Like the top ace card in that new vampire archetype, because like she can just do it without even a, basically without doing anything. She can just send one card, one spell, one card type from your opponent's deck to the graveyard with literally no effort. So, and with Vampire Sorcerer, what I'm saying, like Vampire Grace is level 6, but Sorcerer can make it to where, when he banishes, when Vampire Sorcerer banishes itself from the graveyard, you can normal summon one level 5 or higher vampire, or like one level 5 or higher vampire monster, I believe, what I'm saying, without tribute. And since Grace is level 6, you could just throw her on the field, no problem. Or you can get Shadow Vampire and then special summon Grace. You know what I mean? It's just so much going on for them right now in the upcoming format. I really see them being used a lot. Next up is Evil Swarm. Now, the main card that makes me believe that these cards are going to be, that this deck is going to be used, is because of Ophion and Ophion alone. Ophion makes Evil Swarms one of the best options to use. So like, yeah, one of the best options to use post format because of Ophion. Now we are in this Exceed monster era. We know this, and there's a lot of like level 5 or higher, or like rank 5 or higher Exceed summons being made. Ophion stops those monsters from even being special summoned to the field, because that's the best way to get more than one monster on the field anyway. So because of that and that alone, I'm pretty much expecting to see Evil Swarms a lot, so like a lot post format, in the event that nothing happens to Ophion, which I seriously doubt should. Next up are Dark Worlds. Um, I just feel like they're not going anywhere. I mean, at this point, Dark Worlds, they're good, but they're not overpowering. I don't really think they were ever overpowering. Uh, yeah, like, it's Dark World. That's the best way I can explain it. Uh, yeah, like they're not doing too much so like these days. Everybody's moving on to different things. More people are playing Dragon Rulers, which is one of the decks that I'm gonna be, so like speaking on. Um, yeah, it's just one of those decks that isn't gaining, that they still have like a a nice, okay, like the Dark Worlds still have like a nice presence in Yu-Gi-Oh, to where I don't see people stop playing them. You know what I mean? I don't think people will stop playing them. So that's going to be one of the decks I'm still expecting to be seeing, after September 1st. Well, on September 1st, the Frognarchs. They introduced some new Monarch support, and I think people are eager to use those. There's still few people out there that are playing Frognarchs, and this is just giving them more reason to continue to play them, because they're introducing new Monarchs now. Seems like it. Like they've already introduced one new Monarch, and they introduced a Monarch support card, like a new Monarch support card that helps you search for Monarchs. So why stop now? Um, I don't really have like a deck for these two cards, but so like I don't have like a deck in mind for these two cards, but I'm pretty sure people will be playing them, so I'm gonna just mention them. Box of Friends and Princess Cologne. I think people are gonna work those two cards into a build that are really will be doing something in this game. Because those two cards alone have like a lot of potential. What I'm saying, with with Box of Friends more so having more potential than, what I'm saying, than uh Princess Cologne, but I feel like those two cards will be put into like a build, and they're going to get worked this this upcoming format. So next after that, I had kind of touched on it a little bit. Is the elemental dragons, or what they're now being called, dragon rulers. Um, yeah, I think this is like an Inzektor wind up type of thing going on. I don't think anything is going to happen to them because I feel that Konami may pull another Inzektor and wind up, like scenario to where it's like too soon to do anything to them because they haven't like been through a format yet, so they just might survive it. But with that being said, wind ups, I mean, the, like the Dragon Rulers, they're being used a lot. I just got off a dueling network and I clicked on like random duels and put it to you like this: 9 out of the 10 duels that I clicked on, people were using Dragon Rulers. So they are running wild. Um, Continuing on, uh, Light Swarms. I don't think anything's gonna happen to them. I mean, ain't nothing should. Hell no, ain't nothing gonna happen to them. And I'm gonna be surprised if something does. Excuse me. I still see like very few people playing them, so I'm expecting to see like a lot more Light Swarm, uh, so like decks out there. Not many, but you know, I don't think too many people are like interested in Light Swarms now. But yeah, again, like for the same reason with Dark Worlds, like they're there. You know, for the most part, they are a pretty consistent build. For the most part, you know what I'm saying. And there's some new cards that can work with them. Um, and off the top of my head, like I wish I can remember which ones they were because I did do card reviews of them. But yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. I think people will still be playing them, saying like post format. Uh, Next up, Gravekeepers. They're starting to make a comeback. In my eyes, they're starting to make a comeback. I'm starting to see a lot more people pick up Gravekeepers. Basically because of Necro Valley. Necro Valley stops a lot of things from happening. You know, um, they prevent you from pulling cards from your graveyard. You know, or you pretty much doing anything with your graveyard, unless the monster in your graveyard can, somehow, say like pull itself out the graveyard, or like in the deck or in your hand or whatever. You pretty much can't use your graveyard, and that makes Gravekeepers valuable because of, in my opinion, that makes Gravekeepers valuable because of Necro Valley, and they have cards that support them, which is like the loophole around Necro Valley. Mind you, of course, Necro Valley can be MST'd, but I'm just speaking in general terms of, saying like these cards just being used. Necro Valley is good, and Gravekeepers, they work with Necro Valley. They are their own loophole out of that anti-graveyard usage. They have cards that can use the graveyard to their advantage while preventing their opponent from doing anything with their graveyard. So, yeah, I'm expecting to see some more Gravekeeper decks out there. Um, Again, this is another one of those um, expectations that I don't have like a deck for them, but I'm expecting to see decks being made of them because of the new cards that they're introducing and the new cards that they currently have out right now. Uh, Plants. They're introducing new plant monsters, and I'm expecting to see like some type of plant variations out there. Uh, yeah, it's pretty much a gimme with plants. It's some people out there that miss plants. I know of, saying like one or two plant lovers. As weird as that sounds, it's some people out there that would like to play like play plants, and they're introducing new plants. So they're trying to push plants on us. So it's kind of inevitable that we will be seeing some plant builds out there. Next up are the gimmick puppets and the ghost ricks. Two new archetypes that have been introduced. Uh, so like with the ghost ricks, they do some interesting things on their own, and they work differently than any archetype that I've seen in recent years, or like at all. And so like with the gimmick puppets, they're just good for ranks, high ranking exceed summons, and they can pretty much just get on the field with no effort. And they have like support cards that can help them do that very thing. So yeah, I'm expecting to see gimmick puppets and ghost ricks being used. And next up, these were all um, these cards were all some new hold on, stupid phone. Yeah, but face look dark. Anyway, these were all promo cards that I reviewed. It was 5 new ones, and it's basically trying to issue in like a new Twilight build. And coincidentally, one of the cards was named Twilight, which was the new Blackluster Soldier that I speak on, that I had spoke on earlier in the video. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Twilight. Um, yeah, they want, obviously, with any card, like they want it to be used, but now I'm thinking that they're pushing, like a new variation of, what I'm saying, that infamous Twilight build that people use, that people have used, and they actually work pretty good at the moment. But I think, some of that post format, there could be some cards coming out after that that will make that, saying like that series of cards that much more worth using. So yeah, man, like I'm expecting to see like some reinvention of Twilight in the game. So as far as like all the builds that I'm expecting to see, or like all the decks that I'm expecting to see, or archetypes or whatever, saying like which way you want to use it. Mermaids, slash Atlanteans, vampires, evil swarms, uh, well, not just the evil swarms, but also like the L swarms, Um, also Dark World, Frognarks, some build variations with Box of Friends and Princess Cologne, Dragon Rulers, Light Sworns, Gravekeepers, some type of plant build out there with all the new plants coming in, gimmick puppets and the ghost tricks, and these new Twilight monsters, these new Chaos monsters that they got coming. You know, they're pushing for it. So, with that being said, wait, also, I forgot a build. Well, actually, two builds. The um the damn it, cause I keep forgetting that they keep changing the names of these cards. So, like, I'm really trying to think. The uh War Gods. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling them now. I think it's the Bujin, I believe. Yeah, like those cards will most definitely being used. So like will be used because they're just good. They are good. I know even myself, I had so like when they first got introduced, I was like, these guys need more Beast Warrior monsters, and now you pretty much have 6 to use, and the cards that support them, saying, like those hand traps, um, and the cards that can get activated, saying, in the graveyard, they're good. Love Murakumo. But that that and um the uh the battle and boxers. I'm expecting to see those being used in the upcoming format. Something about them just tells me that they're going to be used. Something about them tells me that they're going to be used. You know, so like they're introducing some new hand traps as well. So yeah, obviously they want them to be new hand traps and some new support cards. So yeah, like they have some new stuff that really makes them worth trying out. So I'm expecting to see some battle and boxer builds out there. So the Bujin and battle and boxers are added to that list. I completely forgot about those. But yeah. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you weren't too disappointed with it. Again, maybe sometime in the near future I'll be doing another ban list prediction video because this one was kind of lackluster. Like I said, I haven't been in the game or like been paying attention to Yu-Gi-Oh that much to where I can pick out individual cards that need to be put on the ban list, and I don't want to just toss names out there, for like some biased reason. I do this with unbiased intentions. Even though I'm tired of seeing this, and this, that doesn't necessarily mean that those, cards, need to be banned. I do it because it's a reason why they, saying, like, it's a really good, legitimate reason why they should be banned. Like there's some unfair loophole or something like that that's causing them to be just so overpowering that they really need to, limit the amount of cards that these or like that this deck can use, or something along the lines of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that being said, again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Till then, peace.